Good evening to all of you. The topic for my today's presentation is new frontiers of cardiac pacing, which includes basically physiological pacing, which includes his bundle and left bundle branch pacing. So this is a very emerging topic nowadays in the field of electrophysiology and pacing. And so basically, I'll be discussing about what is physiological pacing and why do we actually need physiological pacing. So we all know about the conventional dual chamber pacemaker in which one lead is implanted in the right atrium and one lead is implanted in the right ventricle. The lead which is implanted in the right ventricle can be either placed in the apex or in the septum. But the problem with this conventional pacemaker is that apical or septal location of RV lead can lead to pacemaker induced cardiomyopathy, and the incidence could be as high as up to 60%. So, whenever patient will develop pacemaker induced cardiomyopathy, there will be increased risk of heart failure hospitalization, there will be increased risk of atrial fibrillation, and subsequently there will be increased risk of mortality. So, so keeping those things in mind, physiological pacing actually came. So after physiological pacing, normal cardiac electrical excitation sequence is achieved, and hence AV, intraventricular and intraventricular synchrony all are maintained. So basically, we all know about the electrical system of the heart, which includes the SA node, then it continues as AV node, then bundle of His, right bundle, and left bundle branch. So in physiological pacing, there are basically two types of pacing which we do. One is the His bundle pacing, and second is the left bundle branch pacing. Now, as I've already discussed about the location of, in fact, the anatomy of the conduction system. So, what is first? I'll discuss about what is His bundle pacing. So, basically, His bundle pacing is not a new thing. So, I think in 1970, Dr. Narula already performed selective His bundle pacing at the AV junction of the tricuspid valve using a multipolar catheter. So, it dates long back in late 1960s to early 1970s. So, permanent His bundle pacing is implantation of the permanent pacing lead at the His bundle region of the AV conduction system. So basically, instead of placing the RV lead at the apex or at the septum, we implant the pacing lead, pacemaker lead at the His bundle region with the help of the electrophysiology system. And by doing this, we tend to preserve or normalize the biventricular activation by the help of this His bundle pacing. So we have a lot of benefits of this Hess bundle pacing because we are now stimulating the inherent electrical conduction system of the heart as much as possible. We are ensuring the synchrony, and we are ensuring both atrioventricular as well as interventricular synchrony. So we all know about the His signals which are present when we do the electrophysiology procedures. There is one atrial signals, there are ventricular signals, and the central one, the sharp spike, is the His signal. So this is the His catheter, and this is the pacemaker lead. So this is the pacemaker lead which we are going to implant at the His bundle region. So this is the normal patient. This is the patient basically with a normal sinus rhythm, and this is the QRS, normal conduction. And this is when we do His bundle pacing. So we can see that basically the QRS, as we look at the QRS duration is absolutely normal. If we compare the normal pacemaker ECG, normal ECG as the pacing ECG, the QRS is absolutely narrow and it's almost similar to the previous or the baseline ECG. So in 2000, the Deshmukh et al. First demonstrated the feasibility of permanent His bundle pacing. And after that, a lot of investigators have already demonstrated the safety and effectiveness of His bundle pacing. And undoubtedly, a lot of trials has been done, which has clearly showed that His bundle pacing is far superior than traditional RV pacing as compared to the event-free rate, which is significantly lower when we do a physiological pacing as compared to the conventional RV, apical, or septal pacing. But the problem is that we have certain disadvantages of His bundle pacing as well. First of all, it definitely takes a larger time as compared to the conventional pacemaker. Also, a lot of times we are basically unable to implant the His bundle lead, maybe because of higher threshold, or the blockage is basically infrahesian or intraventricular block, and sometimes it's not easy to locate and fix the his bundle lead. Also, there are issues with atrial oversensing, and sometimes there is injury to his bundle as well. So that is why a newer physiological method came, which is called as left bundle branch area pacing. So it is basically pacing the left bundle branch area 1 to 2 centimeter below the his bundle region. And the main advantage is that his bundle is basically a point, but left bundle is basically an area. So we tend to find the left bundle quite easily with the help of the electrophysiology system. So this is the bundle of his. So in his bundle pacing, we place the lead at this his region, and in left bundle pacing, we come 1 to 2 centimeters distal to the his bundle in the left bundle region, and then we paste the left bundle branch. And whenever we will paste the left bundle branch, we will get a QRS, will basically a right bundle branch block pattern in the lead, basically in the precordial leads. So again, this is AB node which continues as his bundle, and this is the lead for the his bundle. So this is basically the RO view in which we can see one lead is placed at the his bundle and other lead is placed at the left bundle region. So anatomy wise or in the fluoroscopy, it's very minor difference between these two locations. So coming to the guidelines, what does guideline has to say about the physiological pacing? So American College of Cardiology and American Heart Association in 2018 in guidelines for pacemaker implantation, it gave a class 2A recommendation for patients with AV block who have an indication for pacemaker implantation and who have an ejection fraction between 36 to 50% and who require ventricular pacing for more than 40% of the times. Then we can go for physiological pacing with a class 2A recommendation, who have an ejection fraction between 36 to 50% and who are basically pacing dependent, who require pacing for more than 40% of times. So this is class 2A recommendation. And class 2B recommendation is given to those patients who have AV block at the level of the AV node, who have an indication for permanent pacing. Then his bundle pacing or physiological pacing can be considered to maintain physiological ventricular activation. So this is basically how we do the his bundle or the left bundle branch pacing. So this is the special kind of lead which is called as 3830 select secure MRI compatible lead, and this is basically the 315 his sheath. So this has got a preformed primary and the secondary curve, and with the help of this sheath and this lead, we do the his bundle or the left bundle branch area pacing. So basically the lead is different. The conventional RV lead, which we go for normal pacemaker implantation, it's different, and lead for his bundle or left bundle branch area pacing is different. Now, I would like to show some cases how we do the his bundle or the left bundle branch pacing and what are the indications as of now, growing indications for the physiological pacing. So first case is physiological pacing as an alternative for failed CRT. So this is a patient who was planned for conventional CRTD because he had severe LV dysfunction and he had left bundle branch block and he was an NYHA class despite optimal medical therapy with an EF of 15%. So this was the class 1 indication for CRTD. So we took the patient in the cath lab for CRTD, conventional CRTD I mean. But when we took CS shoot, we tend to realize that basically there was no posterolateral vein and there was one middle cardiac vein. But the problem was that whenever we placed the lead in the middle cardiac vein, there was very high threshold and phrenic nerve capture was also there in middle cardiac vein. Now comes the question, what other options do we have and how to deal with this case? So basically earlier we used to go for the epicardial lead placement with the help of surgery. Or first or second option, we could go for the his Purkinje system pacing, which is his bundle and the left bundle branch pacing. So basically this is what we do. So this is the baseline left bundle branch block ECG with a QRS duration of approximately 180 milliseconds. And we first tried his bundle pacing. So this lead is at the his bundle location, and this is the signals from the pacemaker lead. We can see a very clear his potential in this electrogram, but the problem was that even high output could not correct the left bundle branch block. So that is why we just placed our lead 1 to 2 centimeters distal to the his bundle branch region, and we went for left bundle branch area pacing. And this is basically the position of the lead in LEO view for the left bundle branch. This is the RB lead, defib lead, this is the atrial lead, and this is the left bundle branch area facing lead. And this is the ECG. So this was the ECG of the baseline QRS, and this is the pacing ECG. So basically we can see how narrow it has become. So post procedure, the QRS became approximately 100 to 100 milliseconds. And this was the baseline ECG, left bundle branch block, and post procedure ECG. So the ECG has become quite narrow. So case 2, physiological pacing as a dual chamber pacemaker. So she was a 60 years old female, symptomatic complete heart block, and echo was done. It showed LV dysfunction of EF of around 40%. So basically it became class 2A indication for physiological pacing. So this is what we did. So this was the paced QRS duration of 178 milliseconds. We can see the QRS duration. And here we can see the pacing QRS. I mean the left bundle branch. We did left bundle branch area pacing in this patient. And we can see how narrow the QRS has become. So just for comparison's sake, so this was the previous ECG, the broad QRS, and this is a narrow complex QRS ECG. So this is the beauty of the physiological pacing. The QRS becomes absolutely narrow, and more importantly, so this lead is basically, it is deep inside the septum towards the left ventricular side of the septum. So this is the RB side of the septum, and we have placed the lead inside the septum on the left ventricular side. And on follow-up, AF improved to 55%, and patient was basically asymptomatic. So this is beauty of physiological pacing. Again, sharing two cases which we did. So this was the baseline QRS, and this was the pacing QRS, almost similar to the baseline ECG. Similarly, again case, in fact, it is basically narrower than the baseline ECG. This was the baseline ECG, and after pacing, the QRS actually became narrower than the baseline ECG. So case 3, physiological pacing is an alternative to CRT-P, so which we commonly call as poor man CRT. So again, class 1 indication for CRT because patient had left bundle branch block with EF of around 30-35% and left bundle branch block on ECG. So ideally, patient should receive a CRT-D, but because of cost, what we did, so this was the baseline ECG with a QRS of 168 milliseconds, and this was the ECG when we did the physiological pacing. So we can see how narrow the QRS has become as compared to the baseline ECG. So this is the paced QRS complex. And we placed one lead in the atrium and one lead in the left bundle branch area. And more importantly, on follow-up, ejection fraction improved to 50% and patient became absolutely asymptomatic. So case 4, which is basically physiological pacing in addition to the conventional CRT. So in conventional CRT, we place 3 leads in the atrium, in the ventricle, and in the posterolateral vein in the CS. So when we place 4 leads instead of 3 leads, so it is called as his CRT, his optimized CRT or the hot CRT. So again, clinical history was same. Patient had left bundle branch block and was a class 1 indication for CRTD. So this was the baseline ECG, and but the problem was that when we did IV pacing, so there was a tortuous posterolateral vein in which we could not place our lead. So we had to place our lead in the middle cardiac vein. And when we placed our lead in the middle cardiac vein, the QRS we could narrow on IV pacing was 147 milliseconds only. So that is why we did His bundle pacing in this patient. And we can see a beautiful His signal in this ECG. And when we did a His bundle pacing, the QRS was 122 milliseconds. So what we did His optimized CRT. We took the help of this lead and also the LV lead, which was placed in the middle cardiac vein. And then we could get a QRS of approximately 94 milliseconds. We can see how narrow the QRS has become. So this is the 4 leads: atrial, His bundle, RB defib, and the left ventricular lead. So just to conclude, His Purkinje system, it results in true physiological ventricular activation, and it decreases the chances of heart failure hospitalization. And with His bundle pacing, we have 2 decades of experience, and with left bundle branch area pacing, we have just 2 years of experience. It's a very recently involved technique, and this is definitely going to be, I think, probably the future of CRT. With when patients have IVCD, then definitely we should go for physiological pacing with LV lead, that is called as hot CRT. And probably when patients have got just LVP, we can try for His bundle pacing or IV pacing according to the threshold which we get. So just to conclude, IV pacing has a lot of challenges, including non-responder, high pacing threshold, unavoidable phrenic nerve stimulation, and lack of targeted veins. His bundle pacing can definitely correct left bundle branch block and restore synchrony, but the pacing threshold can be high and sometimes could not completely correct left bundle branch block. So left bundle branch area pacing can correct left bundle branch block with good threshold, but the safety of LBB pacing should be verified in future. So just to conclude with a question that will dual chamber pacemaker with left bundle branch area pacing or his bundle pacing might become one of the choice for systolic heart failure patient with difficult left bundle branch block. Thank you so much.